When 1.5 million hectares of land in Victoria burned in the 2019-20 bushfires, we feared for many of our rare plant species. Although many Australian plants are adapted to fire, and in some cases need fire to survive, the increasing intensity and frequency of bushfires is putting many plants at risk of extinction. In response to this unprecedented environmental disaster, experts from Royal Botanic Gardens Victoria set out on emergency recovery missions, salvaging seed and plant material from 105 threatened plant species in the fire zone. The National Herbarium of Victoria is the key research centre at Royal Botanic Gardens Victoria. It's home to the State Seed Bank, cutting-edge seed research equipment, and it's the place where vital work to protect the plants affected by the 2019-20 bushfires continues.
The role of the Botanic Gardens with this threatened species recovery is we've got the identification skills, and we've got a devoted seed bank where we've been working with threatened species for nearly 20 years now, and we've got a well-established protocol for storing and testing seed and keeping them in the longer term. When we bring the seed back from the field, we put that in a dryer that's held at 15 degrees Celsius. We get the seeds down to about 6% moisture content, and we run that through an aspirator which separates seeds by a draft of air running through it. Once that is sorted, we run germination tests. For a lot of native plants, they have extraordinarily complicated cues that are required before those seeds will germinate. Sometimes it can be smoke, sometimes it can be temperature, sometimes it can just be a long, long time in the soil. And we have a range of techniques to break dormancy. We've got some state-of-the-art equipment with which we can optimise their germination requirements. So we've got incubators, we've got some nice X-ray gear that means we can X-ray the seeds and see if they're full or empty without destroying the seeds. We can not lose a single seed and get great information on the degree of viability of those seeds. And we've got this nice bit of gear called a thermogradient plate, which offers a wide range of heat, light and frequency of each of those. Very, very neat piece of gear that we can use to optimise seed germination requirements. We have a bulk sample of dry seed, which we seal into aluminium foil containers, and then we subject them to -20 storage. And for most species, that'll keep them in good condition for centuries.
Collections of rare and threatened plants are held in specialist nurseries around the globe. In Victoria, they are held and protected at Royal Botanic Gardens Victoria. These specialist collections are Victoria's insurance policy against plant extinction. In the nursery at Royal Botanic Gardens Cranbourne, plant material salvaged from the fire zone is being grown for future seed harvesting and returned to the wild.
These Lobelia gelida have been collected from Mount Buffalo. When they arrive at the nursery, they are inspected for possible insect or disease that's on them, and they may require chemical treatment to ensure that there's no pathogen introduced into the nursery situation. They're trimmed of excess foliage so that you don't lose too much moisture from the actual cutting material. They are trimmed at the base to get a fresh wound and cut them off at a node normally, and then they're placed into the peat plugs. The peat plugs act as a vase to actually keep a nice balance of water and air around the base of the cuttings. From there, the cuttings are put into trays, and the trays are taken into the glasshouse. The high humidity in the glasshouse and the warmth from underbench heating helps induce rapid root development. The cuttings can sit in these peat plugs for sometimes several weeks. In other cases, it can take several years before they'll actually develop roots.
The end game with all of this is that we hope to have all of those species that have been affected by the fires of last year able to continue their life, continue their role in the ecosystem out there in the wild. Now, should something go belly up, we've got an insurance policy here at the Botanic Gardens, and we can get those plants back out there in the wild.